Nice.
As we all know, that winter break is approaching and we all can start to plan our trip either in Taiwan or over the world. And maybe when we travel, we want to stay organized for your ticket ID or cash or coins and also some other things like cards or anything that may go into your purse. But have you ever wondered how inconvenient it is when you have to dig deep into your backpack to retrieve your cash to pay something? So a functional and stylish accessories may resolve your problem. And there are some travel challenges that you may face when you travel. The first one is disorganization, and then the durability of your wallet, and then the convenience, so you don't have to dig deep into your backpack, and the safety, because you don't want any accidental tapping from your cards, and then a visual appeal, and then the ethical concerns.
Next is why our polyurethane wallet is different from other wallets. First is multiple compartment. So this is perfect for organizing your cash, coin, card, and your ticket. So travelers can easily find everything they need without fumbling through their bags. And then traveling can be unpredictable, but don't worry because our product is water and stain resistant. So whether you are caught on the rain or accidentally spill your
and reducing the curvature. So this reshaping affects lasts throughout the day, improving their vision without the need for contact lenses or glasses. So however, it is important to note that wearing okay lenses and regularly overnight, so to keep their vision. So how about the long-term effects of wearing okay lenses? So currently research tells us it is investigating how the long effects of wearing okay lenses.
And next is about the safety. And first question is, where can we buy this? And according to every patient's cornea, it's different. So their okay lens is customization. And the fitting of the okay lens can only be made by doctor because it belongs to medical device. So the product is only available for sale after an evaluation, reflection, examination, and the prescription provided by a doctor. So only can buy this in hospital. And next question is price. And a pair of okay lens usually used for 2 years, and it costs 25,000 to 15,000 US dollars. And the next slide, I will show the details. And the next question is, who will be our customer? And usually it is 9 to 18 years old, and above 18 with stable short sight after choose to undergo laser eye surgery. If the product can be modified on its material with high oxygen permeability and make the price cost down. School children and teenagers who aims for vision correction could be our passionate customers. And this slide, I will show you about the price of different degree and different brands. This is about price. And
okay, so let me start with the structure. Our product, the ortho-K lenses, 角膜塑形片 in Chinese, is mainly composed of the three different materials, which is the PMMA, PTFPMS, and the urea, which is the copolymers. The structure of each material are shown in the right figures, like there. And you can see especially the PTFPMS is a polymers that contain the silicane, the segment, and the foreign group. So as for the TG and the TM, the glass transition temperatures and the melting temperatures, the thermal properties were shown in the left side. And for example, the TG of the PMMA is approximately range between the 355 and the 378 degree Kelvins, and the melting point TM is approximately about 453 degree Kelvins. Also, you may notice that the urea doesn't have the TG due to the urea is not belong to the polymers. So the next slide. The next part is why we choose this for the material. There are a few reasons. Let me briefly explain it. So we could see the PMMA first. So it provides the material strength along with the durable and the optically transparent characteristics. And one of the biggest issues with the PMMA is lack of the oxygen permeability, which it could be lead to the thermal IPL problem, and this is due to the limited mobility of this polymer chain. And the second material will be the PTFPMS. So it could promote the corneal health by enhancing oxygen permeability. So as we know, the fluorosilicon-based material has very high gas permeability, allowing them to be worn for extended periods. However, the silicon materials are inherently hydrophobic, making them uncomfortable due to the factors such as the poor wetting. So in order to address this drawback, we decided to perform the copolymerization with the hydrophilic polymers such as the urea. And the urea is the natural moisturizing factor we call the MNF that enhance the hydrophilic property. Okay, so it's the last part. So according to the study, we found relate to the contact lenses research.
Several industrial applications. For example, the Kapton also utilizes the flexible substrate or use like sensor and PCB technology, as well as aerospace. Okay, so this film is used in several types. But long story too short. Actually, this film maybe we cannot find out in our daily life directly, but actually it's play a critical role in our daily life, as well as the electronic devices. In our cell phone or laptop, maybe this film you can find out when you just open your computer or open your cell phone. Okay, you can find a yellow films that is a Kapton, or you can call it a PI. Okay. In the electronic applications, the flexible print circuits. Okay, this is actually every electronic has it, and wire on cable insulator. Okay, maybe we can use a PI to coating in the wire. Another is semiconductor manufacturing. The PI is now will focus on the photosensitive. So this material can be modify or make some great insight into several industry. But for the future improvement, some application deserve different properties in this film. So maybe the color will be research or property, or for the sustainability, maybe we can decrease the halogen content in this film. So non-fluorinated polyimide is also important. So if you are an angel investor, maybe our material shows a great potential in the next generation application, especially in the semiconductor manufacturing. Okay, that's all. Thank you for being here.
Okay, any question from the audience?
So, this will prevent corneal epoxy, so ensuring healthy eyes during the wind and physical activities. So it enables the eye to have more oxygen. And also here we can see the low water content. So in this part it will mean stiffer lenses, and on the other part it will mean softer lenses and more comfortable. So our are comfortable and also have a good permeability. And the silicone also provides a direct oxygen pathway. And so as you can see, it will enable the eye to have more oxygen. So as for the mechanical resistance, so they've managed to do some tests. So here we can see that for the first tests, so with the load and the unload, we can see that while the unload at zero stress, it enables to have zero deformation. So it means that it's always in the elastic range. Also, the elastic modulus is higher, which means that the motor will be stronger. And also, they managed to do some tests with some notches, so with some punctures in it, and it remains the same. So, which means that even if there are some notches and some holes, it will remain the same.
So Atlas isn't just another contact lenses, it's a revolutionary product in sport and vision care. That's why join Atlas means leading the new growing market, and we can together empower athletes worldwide, improve vision, and makes life easier and see beyond limits. So thank you for joining, and if you have questions.
Why higher oxygen permeability can prevent corneal hypoxia?
Oxygen permeability?
Yes.
So which means that the lenses, if the oxygen permeability is high,
Yes.
it's permeable from oxygen, so it will not enable oxygen to go through. And on the other side, if it's low, the oxygen will pass easier. No, it's the opposite. Like permeable is 100% transfer, and non-permeable is 0.
Other question?
I'm not sure why some of the lenses can be worn only one day and some can be kept during months. What's the difference? Is it the product of it? Is it the lens in itself? What's the difference between the months and the day?
It's just that when you do some sport can be more extreme than other. So the contact lenses can be like impact more quickly, and for disposable, for daily wearing, it's easier to wear it like when it's just specific, because some people doesn't need to wear it every day, but just when they do some sports. And if they kept it all the months without wearing, it will have an impact later on the lenses. Is it okay?
Okay.
Mechanical movement. It's a biomechanical movement. So the way that we move teeth is not just pushing it. The teeth responds, or the teeth moves, because there's a ligament around the root of the tooth that is called periodontal ligament, or PDL. And then there are certain cells inside the ligaments that responds to the force. So when the cell senses the force pushing the tooth, it recruits a group of cells called osteoclasts that eat off the bone and then create certain holes along the bone where you want to move the tooth into. So, which means you can only move the tooth so much at a certain time, within a certain time. If you move it too fast, or if you put a force that is too large, then the cells that responds to the force, they die. So the tooth will not move. So say if I want to move the tooth from here to here, I have to segment it into a lot of tiny steps. So within each step, it's around 0.3 millimeter, because that's the width of that ligament around the tooth. So for Invisalign, or like the traditional way of making clear aligners, we segment every step. And then for each step, we usually ask the patient to wear the tray, or an Invisalign tray, for about 2 weeks, 10 to 14 days, depending on how good they're wearing, how the teeth are responding. But then, because of stress relaxation, so the aligner doesn't last that long. So after a few days, the patient will say, oh, the teeth are not sore anymore. Sometimes it means they're pretty good at wearing it, so the teeth have probably already moved to the new position. Sometimes it probably is because the aligner itself just lost strength. So our material, because you can reboost the strength by just throwing it into hot water, then they're proposing, I'm not behind them, but they're proposing that we can make sure that the teeth tracks along. So for durability, because for each step, we only want the tooth to move around 0.2 to 0.3 millimeter, and that takes about a week or so, maybe a little bit more than a week, like 2 weeks. So the durability only has to last for 2 weeks. Once after 2 weeks, we can throw it away and then change to a new liner.
So to more like commercialize that, can you go to the slides? You have a lot of liner, like maybe 30, like maybe very in the very beginning part. Yeah, this one. Yeah. So here is like you actually say that like every person you probably need to print about 12 to 20 sets in the whole process.
So in the old way of making aligners, because the teeth just don't track along. So say I want to move the tooth from here, point A to point B, and then it takes about 20 steps. But in reality, the tooth often, like say I'm halfway here, and then I start to see that some teeth are not tracking along.
Exactly.
But in the old way, we usually make all the trays, all the aligners trays on the very first day, and that's just wasting material. Not just the process itself is a waste, because you have to make 3D models and then use back and forth aligners, but the last few